What's up, everyone? What's going on? Justin here. A quick episode of The List. What's The List? Where I talk about wrestling news, breaking news, wrestling topics, anything I want in the world of wrestling, basically. Like big wrestling news releases, I'll talk about and give my opinions on. That's why it's called The List. Or I named it The List. I think I named it The List before Jericho had his list in WWE. So, here we go. Up first, I'm going to talk about, this might be the only topic that I cover in this episode. Shane McMahon is gone from WWE. Doesn't really say he was released. Just says he's no longer with WWE. I don't even think they acknowledged it on Twitter or put out a tweet that Shane is gone. He might still be under contract. He probably is still going to be paid because he's Vince's son. But a lot of reports about Shane. Ringside News reported Shane was a subject of many issues during the Royal Rumble. The Rumble match, how it was booked, it was pretty slow, in my opinion, kind of boring, very predictable. And Shane McMahon is part of why it was. And Shane McMahon, in my opinion, is part of why just his entrance. Yeah, it was a good surprise. He got an okay pop, I guess. I would have to watch the Rumble back on the cock to really listen to his pop if it was that loud. I did watch part of the women's match back. I don't think I will ever want to watch the men's match again. I just won't. But the match was kind of a mess. And according to a lot backstage, a lot of spots were changed. The Rumble match for the men was booked and changed a ton. Like, fucking make up your mind. Somebody like Vince, you're the fucking boss. Make up your fucking mind and stick to a plan. Stick to the script for the match. Quit changing your mind like last minute all the time. It's been reported a lot. Vince has ripped up scripts for Raw and SmackDown and was rewriting them when the show started. That's fucking ridiculous. That's like WCW Nitro bad. Because Nitro was a mess sometimes. So, anyways, Ringside News says Shane was a surprise entrance. He also worked the match as an agent and producer. I also heard Shane got in an argument with Jamie Noble. I think Jamie Noble still works there as an agent. But Shane McMahon, basically, my opinion, how it saw in the Rumble, Shane tried to just put himself over. Just about everybody, almost. No, he didn't throw everybody out. I don't mean it like that. But I think Shane might have booked the fucking spot where he knocked out Kevin Owens. That was fucking wrong and bad booking and ridiculous. For Shane McMahon, like, I don't know how old he is. I want to guess, like, I don't know, 52 by now or 54. I don't know, but Shane eliminating Kevin Owens was so fucking stupid. Should have never happened. And I think Shane McMahon booked himself to do that spot. Goes on to say, a lot of people backstage were frustrated that changes were repeatedly made to the match, and it made it harder for the talent to prepare for the Rumble. It says Shane was quietly let go from the company, and the creative team was told not to include Shane in future storyline ideas. Sean Ross Sapp, I think he's a good guy, but stop reporting spoilers all the time on Twitter. He doesn't do it that much, but sometimes he does. But I think Sean Ross Sapp, I think the guy can be trusted. But still, he's a damn dirt sheet reporter. So, I just heard some damn boxes fall over in my attic. Anyways, I got a door here that goes to my attic. So, yeah, Sean Ross Sapp said he wasn't able to confirm the news, but Shane's departure was likely true. And it goes on to say, the report links Shane McMahon to many of the late changes in the Rumble, which frustrated the talent and made the Battle Royal suck. And it kind of did. I'm not blaming the talent, but how it was booked was bad. Could have had like a bigger surprise than just Brock. You could have brought in fucking Braun Breaker. Hello. That would have got a huge pop. Dave Meltzer, I don't trust him. I don't trust the guy. He just reports and makes up shit in his rumors. But Dave Meltzer says that McMahon, Shane is out of the company, but it's unclear what his termination was. If it was termination of his deal, or if the future plans are for Shane, if they have just been dropped. I don't know. We don't know. Nobody fucking knows the truth. Unless you're Shane or Vince or Nick Khan. Fuck Nick Khan, by the way. That guy's a moron. That guy doesn't know jack shit about pro wrestling or sports entertainment. He's just about that. And somehow Nick Khan, I guess, grew up with The Rock. What the fuck? That's crazy. Seems like The Rock kind of got Nick Khan his job in WWE, if you ask me. But who knows? That could just be a conspiracy, or who knows, or a rumor. I think I just started that rumor that The Rock might have got Nick Khan hired because Vince or somebody in WWE found out Nick Khan was like best friends with The Rock, and maybe if we hire Nick Khan, we can get The Rock back to work a WrestleMania. I don't know. That could have happened. Mike Johnson of PW Insider, I think he's a good guy. He can be trusted. He reported more information that Shane McMahon, and I'll get to Shane in a minute. I will rip him and throw him under the bus. I like Shane. I love the guy. I don't love the guy, but I respect and love what he did for WWF and WWE, all the crazy, insane bumps and spots he has taken. Insane that he put his body through all that. And he's a boss's son. He never had to. But he just took an insane amount of punishment. That fucking Hell in a Cell jump at WrestleMania 31, that was insane. I don't care if there was an airbag under the table. That shit still hurts. So I respect the hell out of Shane for what he's done to his body. But the guy seems like he just wanted to get himself over in the Rumble and push himself. That's ridiculous. It's like over 50 years old, you shouldn't be pushing yourself to eliminate Kevin Owens, a guy that's way younger and in his prime. That was ridiculous. But he reports Shane McMahon was pushing to have a match at WrestleMania 38. Why? With who? Fucking Kevin Owens? Seth Rollins versus Shane? No thank you. I wouldn't want to fucking see that. I don't remember if Shane wrestled last year at WrestleMania. I don't think he did. But he did the other year. Or not the empty WrestleMania. Not the empty arena. PC WrestleMania. He worked the year before, I believe, against The Miz. But seriously, Shane, it's time for you to stop trying to put yourself over and get in at WrestleMania. It's enough already. Stop booking yourself or trying to get WrestleMania matches. You're past your prime. Just stop it. Man, just work. Fucking work backstage. Be an agent. Be a producer. Help the talent. Give your knowledge. Seems like you're stupider than your dad if you were trying to put yourself over in the Rumble. Vince would never do that shit. I guarantee you that. Vince never booked himself to be over, like, go over like crazy in a Rumble. Yes, he won in 1999, but that was set up. That was a storyline. They planned that shit. Vince didn't want to put himself over on purpose. That was part of the storyline. Because he was feuding with Stone Cold and he threw out Stone Cold. That was part of the fucking storyline. Because look what they did at the next pay-per-view. St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Vince and Stone Cold had a cage match. So it made sense that Vince won the Rumble in 99. For Shane to be in any Rumble in 2022 is ridiculous. Should have never happened. For Shane to be in a WrestleMania match in 2022 is ridiculous and should not happen. Seriously, that would be like Vince coming back in the Rumble and winning. Shane, stop. Just, man, stop trying to put yourself over. And I don't think Shane really has his dad talents, his booking, and I'm not saying Vince is the greatest booker of all time. He's not. I mean, I would say Paul Heyman, and then probably Dusty Rhodes, and then, well, Vince. Vince has had the most success, but Vince wasn't the main booker all the time anyways. The guy, Vince, had a lot of fucking help from mostly Pat Patterson. But anyways, if Vince just booked the Rumble, I bet it would have been better without Shane in it. And Shane getting involved, trying to book himself in it and put himself over. It was bad. So, Shane was pushing to have a WrestleMania 38 match, but the plan was not locked in as of Monday. Others, I don't know who the fuck these others were, but others wanted WWE to book Shane McMahon against Seth Rollins for WrestleMania. No, thank you. Seth deserves better than Shane McMahon. I would put Seth in like a WWE title, Fatal 5-way or 6-way, but that probably won't happen because Brock Roman will be title for title. But then I'd just put Seth against Kevin Owens. Or Seth and Kevin Owens team up to go after the tag titles or something. Have Seth and Kevin Owens go after the Usos for the tag titles at WrestleMania. but don't have Seth work with Shane. So it goes on to say those plans were dropped to set up Seth Rollins, Shane McMahon, but those plans were dropped. Either way, Shane McMahon has been set his regular presence on WWE Raw. But Shane McMahon was not backstage. Mike Johnson says Shane McMahon was not backstage on Raw Monday. He was pulled. He was pulled from the roster in another detail, whatever the hell that it means. I also heard Shane was supposed to wrestle at fucking Elimination Chamber. Maybe in the chamber. I don't know. Johnson reports Shane was frustrated due to all the changes in the Rumble match. So maybe he didn't book it. I don't fucking know. Maybe all the blame goes on Vince and Bruce Pritchard for changing a whole bunch of ideas, maybe, to fucking screw with Shane. I don't know. So, the report then says Shane was frustrated due to all the changes because he wasn't being allowed to do what he wanted. Maybe he wanted to put himself over a lot. I don't know. The report says some sources felt Shane's frustration stemmed from having his ideas shot down by Vince, his father. Vince, who was actively involved in booking the match. No shit. Vince books every goddamn thing. The guy micromanages everything. And I would probably do the same fucking thing if I was Vince. It'd be my company. I'd want to book everything. So, I would take people's ideas that are creative, but I would still book all the finishes I would want. So it goes on to say some feel that Shane McMahon was taking a fall for the production of the Men's Rumble, which drew a ton of criticism. The departure has not been confirmed by WWE or Shane McMahon, so who the fuck knows what the fuck's going on? He could show up on Monday Night Raw. He could show up on Friday Night SmackDown. Who fucking knows the truth? Let's see if there's any other good wrestling news to talk about. See if I can find any other news that I care to talk about. Well, last night's NXT I really enjoyed. It was a crazy booking, but I enjoyed it. At least I was not bored at all. NXT 2.0, at least it's entertaining and not boring. Not everything's entertaining, but a lot of it was. Brian Kendrick is, I'll talk about him. Brian Kendrick was trying to get released from his contract a lot, I think last week. And they let him go. He's no longer under contract. So I don't really give a shit if Mustafa Ali gets released or not. I don't care. That's his problem. That he can't get released. You shouldn't have signed a long-term contract, Ali. It's not WWE's fault. They don't want to let you go. And I understand why they don't want to let you go. Because they know you just go to AEW. They shouldn't be punishing Ali, but again, they also have a right to not release him. Just let him sit at home and they'll still pay him. He's still getting fucking paid. A lot. He's not in prison. So stop and shut the fuck up about Free Ali shit on Twitter. The guy's not in prison. The guy signed a contract. Basically, the company owns him now. And they don't gotta let him go. But Brian Kendrick, they did let go. He was a producer. It says, for NXT, Brian Kendrick is no longer under contract. And AEW last night during NXT actually put out a fucking tweet. Is this stupid, this other phone of mine is dying. So it actually died. The battery was really low. I didn't think it'd die that quick. About an hour ago, the fucking battery was at like 68%. But whatever. I know what happened. So I'll talk about it without reading. Kendrick was released. And last night during NXT, I saw AEW tweeted out tomorrow on Dynamite tonight. Brian Kendrick versus Moxley. That's insane. Right after Kendrick was just with WWE, wasn't on TV at all. He was supposed to be in a match against Harlan on NXT a while ago. He never showed up. I don't know what the fuck that was about. They said they booked it, promoted it, and then he just never showed. Maybe he did that on purpose because he wanted to be released. I don't know. But I think WWE, I think they let Brian Kendrick go because they probably thought, why the fuck pay him anymore? We're not using him. But you could let Ali go. But again, they don't really care. I don't think they care. That Kendrick is on AEW, they would care a lot more if Ali was. That's why they're not letting Ali fucking go. And again, they don't have to. Ali's under contract. They don't have to do shit. Why doesn't he fucking sue him? If he wants out of his deal so bad, he should sue. I don't know how he could sue and tell a judge or tell a court, yeah, they're all holding me hostage because I signed a contract. No. I don't know how the fuck you would get out of a contract by suing. But maybe it's possible. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. And I don't play a lawyer on TV. And I never studied law. So I don't know that much about suing. Except he could try. Ali could try to sue to get out of his contract. I doubt it would work. If I was him, I would just sit the fuck home, do nothing, and be paid. And then, Ali fans, you want to come back and make the argument, well, the guy's too creative in his prime. He doesn't want to sit home and be paid. He wants to wrestle. He wants to be creative. He doesn't want to sit home. Well, then he shouldn't have signed a new contract. That's my opinion. And I understand some guys are just want out of WWE so bad they want to be released and they don't want to be paid the rest of their contract. They don't want to sit home for years and not be used and not be booked. And I don't fucking understand why Ali wasn't being booked. Obviously, the guy probably got in an argument with Vince and refused to do business with Vince. Probably refused his ideas. Good or bad, he probably got in a big argument with Vince and said, no, I'm not going to do that shit. I don't want to do that gimmick. Or I'm not going to say that. I don't know. But Vince is your fucking boss. He pays you. If you don't do what he wants, you're going to be gone. And not booked on TV. in my opinion. Is Ali being punished for not being released? Probably, but I don't care. He signed a contract that's between him and the WWE. I'm not upset about it, and I will never be tweeting Free Ali because I don't feel sorry for the guy. He's being paid a lot of damn money to sit home and not be released. I mean, if he has a deal for like 2 to 3 more years, that sucks for him, but I'm not him. So, there it is. This ends this episode of The List. I talked about Brian Kendrick against Mox tonight on Dynamite. That should be good. Also, Shane McMahon gone from WWE? Question mark. I think. Maybe he could return next week. Who fucking knows? With what WWE does, they're crazy. They're just insane with sometimes them changing ideas last minute, bringing people back and all that shit. I wouldn't be shocked if Shane is on Raw Monday. Unless he's like really pissed if they cut his contract and get rid of it. That would be hilarious if Shane showed up on AEW. But I doubt he'd do that. Because that'd be him basically not slapping his dad in the face. But if Shane went to AEW and showed up as like a authority figure, commissioner, that would be way worse than a slap in the face to your dad. That'd be Shane kicking his dad in the fucking nuts if he showed up on AEW. But again, I don't believe that will ever happen because he's too loyal to his dad and WWE. Like, comment, share, subscribe. By the way, Triple H is not going to go to AEW ever. I don't ever see that happening. And I don't ever see him leaving to start his own company, even though I'm sure he has enough money to run a small company for a couple years. And he would probably make a profit because I thought Triple H was a good fucking booker and did very good for NXT Black and Gold. Hope you enjoyed this episode of The List. Enjoy Dynamite. Like, comment, share, subscribe.